Hey guys, I'm Betty. Um, so just continuing off of where we were starting on the City of Heroes run, this is going to be the build I'm going to be following as soon as I respec on the other one. So I know usually I just toss builds out. I really do that a lot because I'm terrible at explaining the step-by-step process and all that good stuff. So I figured we'd sit today and we'd go ahead and build it from level 1. So this is for the stone melee region that I'm playing, clearly. So I'm just going to go down and pick some stuff. Hopefully you've seen a mids window before, but if not, this is what it looks like. You have all of your stuff here. This is going to show you the info of all your powers, your effective stats after everything is done, and all that good stuff. Alrighty. If you hear some noises in the background, one of my cats decided to join me. So most of this is going to be straightforward. Stone mallets are our first attack. We're going to pick Reconstruction at level 1. Fast healing is always going to be a skip. I think I said that in the actual playthrough. But yeah, if you look at fast healing, it gives you a little bit of regeneration and a little bit of regeneration debuff resistance. The funny thing about regeneration debuffs in this game is that they're either very tiny to the point where they don't matter, or it's like minus a million, and you're going to be flattened to 0 anyway. So, whatever. We don't need it. Okay, so some of these are obvious at first. We're going to pick Heavy Mallet. We're going to pick Quick Recovery. We're going to grab Build Up. We're going to grab Fault, Element Resistance. I don't like to pick Taunt on my brutes. They're mostly pseudo scrappers to me, so I don't pick Taunt unless it's going to be for a specific thing like running hard mode. So let's go ahead and grab our travel power, which is going to be Mystic Flight. This is my go-to pull for any regeneration character, mostly because we need Rune of Protection. Rune of Protection is still very strong, even after its recharge fix. And it's going to be one of the things that we're going to be using a lot in our rotation. Alright, so I don't have anything to pick here. We're going to go ahead and grab Spirit Ward. I like to pick Spirit Ward over Arcane Bolt because most of the time I don't need another attack by the time I get to epic pulls. And Spirit Ward is just something you can throw on one of the squishies in your team. Gives them a little bit, just a little bit more survivability, and every little bit is going to help. Alright, picking up Integration, that's a no-brainer. Seismic Smash, yep. Resilience, okay. Hurl Boulder is not a great attack, so we're skipping it. We're going to go ahead and grab Rune of Protection right now. So, by level 22, we have a pretty decent kit here. We got a oh shit button, we got a heal, we got our taunt toggle. It's all good. We got some soft mitigation. This is a really safe combo. Okay. So between instant healing and reactive regeneration, I think reactive regeneration, that is so hard to say, is just the better of the two in like 90% of cases. Instant healing does technically provide more of a buff during its window, but the one thing it doesn't have is any kind of debuff resistance, which the toggle does provide. And it's also up all the time. So I feel like the developers just kept instant healing there for the people that do like playing with it and don't want the set to change too much. But reactive regeneration is better. It's just better. Okay, so we grab Tremor. That's going to do it on the stone melee side of things. We're going to pick up Second Wind. It's still Dull Pain. Dull Pain is still a good click. Even though in theory you can use just ailment resistance and hit your max HP cap with the way regeneration is now. I think having the second big heal is very good for you. And then Moment of Glory, it's a no-brainer, we need it. Okay, so now that we got our primaries and secondaries picked, we got Rune of Protection very early, which is going to help pad things if we ever decide to Exemplar down. We need to start on some pools. So fighting, boxing, tough. That's all you really need. If we wanted to, we could go with cross punch. I might actually go with cross punch on this build, just because it's very nice. It fits nicely in pretty much every attack chain. Consider this your mini seminar on cross punch. It's a very small arc cone with it's a very quick right hook that does knockdown and stun. So it takes a lot of good IOs. You know what? I think we're just gonna take it. Screw it. This will be the cross punch build. Alrighty, then we're gonna pick up. Let me look at my epics really quick. I think we're gonna go Psionic Mastery for this one. Psionic Mastery is a fairly new pull. It gives tons of good bonuses for us, or bonuses. A bunch of good tools is what I should say. Dominate is great. If you don't know anything about Dominate, it is a psychic damage hold with no positional tag on the attack. So what that means is that it'll hit things that would normally need, you know, a specific kind of attack levied at it. The best example would be Yellow Mitos in Hamidon, which normally need a melee to hit them, but you can just use Dominate. We're also going to get some very silly bonuses from using this, so just keep an eye on that. Harmonic Mine isn't bad to have. We're going to hit Psionic Tornado because AoEs are good. And then we'll pick up Maneuvers because there's not really anything else to hit there. I forgot Hasten. We're not getting Maneuvers, we're getting Hasten. Hold on, I'm just making some adjustments here. This is why I usually pick Hasten as early as possible, because I usually end up forgetting it by the end. Get Hasten. Don't forget Hasten. We need recharge. It's important. Just a little bit. You know what? This isn't bad. We'll go with this. It's fine. Yeah, this will be okay. It's all good. This is a 50 build anyway, so not having resilience right up there isn't the worst thing. It's only going to get 3 slots anyway. Okay, so let's turn on some things. We know we're going to be running Hasten. We know Second Wind's going to be up. We know Harmonic Mine is a toggle. It's always active. I don't know why it's not active all the time. Same for this. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. As you can see from the totals window, there's still not much to go on, which is typical. So let's just start placing some things that are really obvious. So we have one place for a Luck of the Gambler, so that's going in there. I'm going to go ahead and throw a +5 recharge in there as well. Let me turn that off. Okay, then we're going to do 2 slots in Hasten. Just 2 slotting it with 2 +5 recharge IOs puts it at the ED cap. You never need any more slots than that in Hasten. This is obviously going to get a chance for build up. We're going to have plenty of ways to get the recharge of that down, so don't worry about it. All right, we're going to do 2 slots in health for these right here. That'll be fine. Okay, next thing I want to do is I want to get the regen slotting out of the way because that's going to be very important. So, you know, you can do it however you feel like, but Preventive Medicine, the whole set, is a good one to have in here. All the set bonuses are very, very good. I just throw it in Reconstruction just so that, you know, its values are buffed all the way as far as heal and recharge go. But really, you can throw it anywhere. And the proc doesn't really matter because the absorb proc is considered a set bonus and not like a activation. So putting it in anything that can take it will work. Let me throw that in there before I forget. Okay, so as far as that goes, I'm gonna bring up my total screen actually. I hope you guys can see that. Because some funny numbers are gonna happen over here. Alrighty, so quick recovery. It's gonna get a 3 slot of this. Why only 3 slots? Because all we really need is the slow resistance, and for this to be ED capped on endurance buff. So that's fine right there. What are some other obvious ones? All right, Mystic Flight. It's gonna get the slow resistance from Winter's Gift. I'm gonna watch that number go up. You know, we could even take away one of these slots here and put that there. Because we're gonna get value from this later. And you'll see why. Okay. And then as far as integration, all that good stuff, this is where I'm gonna drop my Panacea proc. And then we'll put in everything that isn't the endurance recharge. So there we go. That's good like that. Reactive generation is going to get pretty much the same deal. Except, obviously, we already have the unique somewhere. And same for second link. The reason why I choose Panacea is because it buffs pretty much every aspect of Regen that you're already getting from the set. Over something like Numena's. Because we don't need the stats from that. We don't need the defensive stats. And Miracle's kind of a weak set. All these other sets are kind of weak, yada yada, you know, all that stuff. Okay, we got Moment of Glory slotted up. We're going to do a little bit more defensive slotting. We're going to go ahead and drop a 3-piece in there. I can't see that. Hold on. Just want to make sure I'm picking the right thing. I'm trying to guess. I shouldn't do that. Okay. And then Resilience is where I'm going to throw in my my max HP proc. So I should be almost capped. I mean, close enough. Alrighty. I think we can start slotting some attacks now, actually. Almost forgot that. That's very important. There's a reason I'm using Unbreakable Guard over something like Titanium Coating. Smashing Lethal Resistance is going to be easy for us to get, just because we're choosing to take tough. So we don't need that, and we don't need max HP that much, because we'll have enough by the time everything is said and done. And you know, we need the 2 energy resistance. See, where am I sitting right now? See, that's not bad. That's not bad, actually. There we go. Not bad. It's a good little buffer. Alright. Yeah, now we can start slotting some attacks. I'm just going to go ahead and get this out the way for the most part. We're going to dump everything we got into these. Ooh. That's not looking good. See, it's a little tight. It's a little tight. We'll get to it. Oh, I do have one extra slot. What's that about? You want to explain that one to me just a little bit? Oh, I see. Well, now I'm running into a very interesting issue. I've never had to deal with this before. I just literally can't put that there. Funny. Can I switch to respec mode? I'm so confused. It should let me do this. There we go. I don't get it. I don't understand. But they're there now. It's fine. We figured it out. Dude, sometimes this program is so strange. Alrighty. Like I said, we're going all in. So let's go ahead and get these going. Man. Alright, as far as ATOs go, the Brutes one kind of sucked. But I do like Brute's Fury. I feel like I put the wrong one in game. I definitely did. We want Superior Brute's Fury in there. I'm going to have to remember to change that when I do my in-game respec. All those set bonuses are pretty good. Obviously, we could stop here at the 6% resistance because, you know, we don't need it, but it is nice. So that's going to stay there. As far as attack slotting goes, the next thing I'm going to prioritize is dropping winter pieces everywhere. So what I like to do is I will take my second strongest single target attack and I'll drop a 2-piece blistering cold in there. Then we'll do the same thing with like our second weakest AoE or targeted AoE. The more damage types you have in your build, the better, because then you can do this. I'm going to do that. And then same goes for our player-based AoE. Or melee AoE, as the game likes to call it. Okay. I'm looking at this over here. We're at 95% slow resistance. Ideally, you want to get that to 100% when you're playing regeneration, because you cannot afford your recharge being debuffed in the slightest. So, since Ionic Tornado can take a little bit of a recharge before the proc chances start getting bad, we're going to go ahead and drop just a tiny bit in there, and that puts us at 800. Accuracy's a little low on it, but we'll fix it later. Okay, and at this point, we're going to start proccing things out, because that's going to be where all of our damage comes from. You can say what you want about proc bomber builds. Regeneration is very good at propping one of those up. So that's what we're going with today. So if you just want to give me just a second, I'm going to go ahead and do all of that. Since Seismic Smash is our most damaging single target attack, it's going to get the most love. And normally what I would do is I would drop hammies in here for the maximum amount of buff possible. But we're kind of going to limit this to what we can get just without outside interference. If you have some in the bank, go for it. You should probably do something like this. That's going to give you just hitting ED cap for accuracy and damage. There's not really a point in inflating this anymore. I'll show you. You only get a 4% buff on it, so just go with just the one. But that's like, you have the resources. But let's pretend we don't. And something like that will be okay if you want to do that. We're going to add our purple procs. Purple procs are nice. Just like that. You can see this number down here isn't very impressive, even if it is procced out. but I also have Fury set to 0, so if we put it at something reliable like 80, 80 is about where you'll sit during combat. Now we get a respectable number. So yeah. Okay, next we're gonna do Dominate. I will slot every epic hold just like this. So we got 3 damage procs so that it chunks. We get the 2 hold procs because now you have a one-click button to hold a very strong target so that you can start whittling it down. This does work on arch villains, especially if you have another hold to stack with it, like Seismic Smash, because it does have a hold component. You will be able to solo AVs with this setup right here. And I've proven that before in another video. And then, I'm gonna throw that in there. That's gonna skew our damage numbers a little bit, but the chance for buildup, decimation, and your epic hold is going to go off pretty often. So what this does is turn your epic hold into a very strong single target attack to add to your rotation that will hold arch villains and gives you a buildup. I don't see why you wouldn't slot it like this. Same thing for Psionic Tornado. I did put the right thing, right? Yeah, okay. Alright, and then Cross Punch. It's going to get pretty much the same investment as this, just because out of these two, we're going to be hitting Cross Punch a lot more. So it's going to get the actual loving. So we're on a little bit of a budget. Something like that, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is probably how I would go about it. Let's turn some of these off. With as many force feedback procs as I have in this build, I still have an extra one turned on somewhere. This is a pretty real number. That is a very real number. As long as you're in combat, this is what your recharge would look like. So what this means is that even though we don't have a lot of slotted global recharge, we're making up for it because we have a power set that does a lot of knockdown. So, you know, and the name of the game is combat, so we're doing pretty good here. As far as other stuff goes, we're going to pretend that we have all of our accolades just because, you know, you should have those. They're good. Also going to pretend that we're going to get Demonic Aura. And that should put us at 3K. Yep. If you really, really want to get this number higher, then you could slot ailment resistance up a little bit. But 3K is a ton of HP. I don't think you realize how much that actually is. It means that there's a lot for mobs to work through, especially since you're constantly regenerating over 100 HP a second. And then we'll get into like what other things are going to pad that out. As far as incarnate powers go, I'm always going to recommend taking Vigor Core. Yeah, Vigor Core. That also did a little bit of a number on our max HP. We're just shy of the cap now. Vigor Core is very good. In terms of general team gameplay, there are things to consider. One is that your healing alone is always going to be very useful, even if your support is taking care of most of it. It's nice to have that. Being able to hit more without things costing a ton of endurance is very fantastic when you're running a proc bomb setup like this, because you usually have nothing else to circumvent that. And you will blow through it with a setup like this, even on regeneration. And the reason we're doing this over something like Musculature Core is because damage buffs are very cumulative. It's going to take into account Fury buildup, damage slotting in attacks, and then any outside buffs your team are getting you. So basically, if you have like a kinetic on your team, then musculature is useless. So we're just going to do that. Also, accuracy is nice. I forgot to mention that. As usual, you want to make sure that you have at least, 90% to everything. I just realized that I forgot to place all of my defense uniques. That's unfortunate. I didn't actually take anything to mule that. Do we want to get rid of an attack? Maybe. See, this is the part where you do the once over. Sonic Nortado. I can... Nortado? Nortado? I can speak, I promise. I'm going to get rid of Psionic Tornado. It's not vital. We're making an executive decision. We're getting rid of that. We're taking combat jumping. This is going to do more things for us than we realize. Especially after I look at my accuracy here. Yeah, my accuracy is kind of not nice. It's fine. We're going to figure it out. Huh? This program is crazy. There we go. Now we even have a few more slots to play with. What should we do, guys? How about we got 2 to go? I lost some of my, I guess that makes sense. We can fix that. This isn't absolutely necessary, but we clean that back up. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah. I mean, this is why you once over your builds. This is definitely looking more complete. And of course, this might not be possible organically if Mids is being honest. But we can always respec back into it at 50. But this is what I'm going to be running. Oh yeah, I forgot. The thing that makes this all work. You're going to want to grab Melee Core. Melee Core, there it is. Let me knock that off really quick. Okay, so... Oh wait, let me grab a Destiny too. Whoa. No, I'm just going to turn this off. We see all that. Okay, so this is the part where I talk about, the play style at 50. If you're trying to solo big things. Because I think the big overarching caveat to all this is that if you're teaming, none of this really matters. But that's getting into a whole other argument of if you are teaming, then why are you building for armor in the first place? But getting back to what I was saying, as far as our protection goes, this right here and this right here isn't what's going to save you from damage. It's this giving you even more and juggling it with this, which we can go ahead and pretend we're at cap because you're going to be surrounded when you click this one. And that. Now, I feel like at this point, the Regen this gives you is just a bonus, but the scaling resistance is what we're looking at mostly, because that's extra padding. These two right here, Rune of Protection and Melee Core, have about the same duration, and they recharge in about the same amount of time. So what you do is you juggle them. You trade if If you're running a tanker, this gets even crazier. And then, you know, during downtime for those, because it's not a continuous buff. You know, you pop things like Barrier or Moment of Glory, or if you're in really dire straits, you hit Demonic Aura, which is going to do about the same thing. And what this does is, if you're on top of it, it makes you nearly unkillable. Even with a very low set bonus build like this, it makes you like almost like impossible to kill, unless you just get debuffed into the ground. But there's not much that anything is going to be able to do about that. But this is the build we're going to be running. I hope this was insightful. I'm going to go ahead and save it. We're going to call this the YouTube build. And that's going to get saved. Did I save? No. No, it's saved. Okay. Alrighty. Anyways, that's going to be it for today. I will see you guys the next time we pick up City of Heroes.